So, hey, good morning, everyone. And I hope that you're already having a great Saturday morning, or will have a great Saturday. I decided I wanted to do this morning's snapshot in our nursery. And partly because, like many of you, I've been hearing horrific stories about horrific things. I wish I'd come up with another word on that, but just unimaginable events and things that have been happening to babies and to toddlers, and so I for a moment I guess I'm going to be a little somber this morning, but also I want to kind of speak to that event, and so I thought, well, let me sit in our own nursery. Every day, Monday through Thursday, we have about 10 to 12 young folks, young toddlers that come in here and they interact with the Parents' Day Out staff, and they come into this place, and they're greeted with a smile. They're wrapped in love. They learn about how much they matter to God. And those moms, especially some of those moms, they come in and that staff that they encounter just gives them so much love and so much affirmation that some of them start to share what's happening in their own lives. They'll speak of neighbors, good, close friends that are really struggling and wondering how can they help, and they'll talk about their own marriages, their own challenges. Here's what the picture I'm trying to paint is, this church is in a community, and we have a ministry that reaches young children, that reaches young families. There's a resource that's available to folks, and because of that, we're able to touch the lives of babies, of toddlers at a very young age. And at a very young age, we can begin to share with them how much they matter to God. And in that young age, at that young point in their lives, we get to teach them that the boy and the girl that's sitting across from them, next to them, who may not want to share the crayons that they are using, or the little toy truck that they're playing with, we get to teach them how to share. We get to show them that just as they are beloved, so is that little boy, that little girl. And if we do that well when they're young, and we continue to do that when they're in elementary school, and we continue to reinforce that in middle school, and we get to reinforce that in high school, when they go into college or into the workforce or into the military or all those things, they've been saturated with that principle, with that truth, that all people matter to God. But if you put a person in a situation that has extreme poverty, if you put a person in a situation, a young child, who all they ever experience is violence, all they ever experience is hatred, and you put and they learn that at an early age, and then it gets reinforced in elementary school, it gets reinforced in middle school, it gets reinforced in high school and in the workforce. Then what we see is what we are experiencing now, and then we're wrestling with the question: what is the just way to respond to this kind of evil, this kind of horrific activity? And I'm suggesting tomorrow morning, when tomorrow's message, is I talk about this idea that we need to live purposeful for the benefit of others. That when we don't take our walk with Christ intentional, when we don't take the calling to live as beloved sons and daughters in the world, then what we experience, the fruit of that is homelessness. The fruit of that is loneliness. The fruit of that is increased suicides. The fruit of that is disconnected youth and young adults. And so we really, when we see the violence and we see the hatred and we see the horrific acts that we have seen this week, that we've experienced this week, then we're really left with only one option, which is we have to inflict more violence because we got to bring it under control. If a child gets out of hand, you have to correct. You have to, I'm not I, I'm not a violent person, right? But sometimes you got to spank people to bring them back into the fold. And so what I'm trying to suggest, and I'll be talking about this hopefully in more clarity tomorrow, is that when we find ourselves stuck with only one option, I mean, what do you do? What do you do with a group that does the thing with Hamas, the things that they have done, the things that they perpetuate? Not just Hamas, ISIS, Al Qaeda, the Proud Boys, the Aryan groups, these folks that promote the violence and hatred and the vitriol kinds of nationalism that operates. When you're left with only one option, which is to respond in violent ways, right? Because if you don't take care of the bully is going to overwhelm you. I get that. What I'm concerned about is that we've allowed ourselves to get into a place where we really only have one option, because for me, it creates an incredible tension. Because Jesus, from the cross, in the midst of the most violent and horrific act of his days, said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." And for me, I mean, it causes me in that moment when I feel like I only have one option, to say, am I really true in my Christian walk? Do I really believe the things that Jesus says? Why does Jesus give me such an impossible task to take? And then when I stop and I think about it, I said, well, if we were all, living the way Jesus taught us to live, if we learn how to wash the feet of one another, if we learn how to serve the way Jesus served, and we did it now, then maybe we would have more options down the road. I mean, we have free will, we have free choice. So there are people who will make the choice to do evil things. But there's also the opportunity that there will be more of us who are convinced that love wins, that we won't let it get to the levels that it's getting to now. I like I said, I'm still working on this, processing this. I've been doing this not all week, but I can tell you this week has also brought me back to 9/11 and remembering, getting the call and heading into the office and walking past, a first lieutenant who had gone on deployment with me and said the very things to me. He says, "So what do you think about turning the other cheek now?" And so this is not new, but it continues to be an internal wrestling for me. And once again, I have the privilege and the responsibility of articulating my internal wrestlings with you, not only now, but also tomorrow. So I hope you'll make plans to join with us either in person or online. We are going to continue to, it is going to be part of the sermon series about doing big things for a big God, because living a life of service, living a life of forgiveness, living a life of unconditional love is truly a big thing, and it has big consequences if we choose not to. Hey, let me, on a little bit more upbeat note, some of the things that are happening for us as a congregation that I want you to be aware of. On the 21st, next Saturday, we will have our fall festival. And again, this is another one of those opportunities where young people, young families are going to be coming on this campus. And we want to give them a message of hope. And you don't have to use words. You just got to smile. You just got to be there. Hand out some candy and just say, "Hey, we're glad you're here. We're hoping you're having fun." Even asking them, "Are you having a great time?" That is the message that needs to be had, and you can do that. I'm counting on you to do that. So please sign up. Make sure, get your neighborhood kids, bring them in your car, and let's have a great time on the campus next Saturday. The following Saturday, I'm doing an outreach called the Global Youth Initiative. And really, I'm trying to connect with youth from 5th grade to 12th grade just to begin to teach them that they can have influence today, that they can be world changers today. So if you've got someone in 5th grade or above, I'd love for you to share the word or share it in your neighborhood so other folks will know of what we're doing, that they can come and be a part of that. Our special needs community is going to have a Halloween dance on Friday, the 27th of October. And again, it's just another great opportunity for us to hang out and show love. And again, we're living in a time where people truly need to be reminded that they matter to God. It's as simple as it sounds. We need to learn how to treat one another as human beings. So, friends, I know this is a little bit more somber than usual. At least I think it's a little bit more somber than usual. But it always, the sun is shining this morning. The Lord is in our presence. We are promised that no matter where we are, no matter what situation we face, no matter even what situations we observe, God is always with us. God loves us, and God expects us and inspires us. I want to say even compels us to be vessels of love, to be vessels of hope. And in a time like this, we truly need to be authentic, and we need to be relevant, and we need to be consistent with that message, because the world needs to hear it now. Hey friends, enjoy your Saturday. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning at either our 9 o'clock service or our 11:15 service. Be well and know that you are blessed. All right, take care.